Never mind, I didn't go out for dinner tonight. So I am feeling much better now. Woke up this morning, felt much better. However, I'm not fully recovered just yet. I'm just starting to feel better. My sore throat isn't as painful anymore. It's definitely still there, but it's much more manageable now. And there's no longer, or rather, the sharp stabbing pain in my mouth, in the left side of my mouth, has died down, has mellowed out, but it's also still there. It's not as painful anymore where I could honestly tear up from the pain whenever I eat. So same thing as last time. I have one, maybe two things to talk about today, and then I will be quiet for the rest of it to give my voice a rest. Today is the release day of the Nintendo Switch 2, June 5th. And I do not have a Switch 2. I did not pre-order one, I did not go out to buy one today, I don't plan to buy one for the time being. I will get my hands on one eventually, but for now, I don't have a Switch 2, and I won't have a Switch 2 for the foreseeable future. We've gone over the reasons why before, the prices. Yeah, that's pretty much it, the prices. Now, I may not have gotten the $600 to $700 console, but I did, however, get the nearly $300 worth of amiibos that came out today as well. Let me show it to you, because those came in the mail today. Luckily today was my day off from work, so I was able to be to be home and sign for the delivery. So super glad I was home today. So, yeah, there's no space. Give me a second, let me sit back down. There's not a whole lot of space for me to work with. So, okay. So over here, so I have over here the Toolin amiibo right here. I have here the Riju amiibo. Over here, Sidon. And then, where to go? Here it is. The biggest one of all, Yonobo. But that's not all. Let me move these away. That's not all, because today I also got these. I also got these Street Fighter 6 amiibo. So we have here this one. That one just now was Kimberly. This one here. These boxes are huge. This one here, Luke. This one, Luke. And this last one, this one, Jamie. And let me tell you, once I got my hands on these ones, holy fuck, these ones are big. The figures themselves are pretty big, yes, but the boxes they're in are huge. Just a comparison, let me show you. So you see the difference in size between, oh my god, you can barely see, between the, look at the mess on my table. Dialga's not shiny. Between Tulin and Yonobo in terms of like their box sizes. And then look at the difference between Yonobo's already larger box size and just one of these Street Fighters amiibos. See that? Look at how big they are. You can see just the amount of junk I have on this table, just slightly off the camera. So yeah, these are all the amiibos that came in today. Nearly $300 worth. Just a quick reminder that I can never show a woman my room just because of how much junk, amiibos, and other figures I have in there. It's a major turnoff. Guess I need to cut my fingernails again. I got 2 shinies in Pokemon Go yesterday. Yesterday, I got my first shiny Drillbur in Pokemon Go, and then I got a shiny Mankey. And I forgot to mention this a couple days ago, maybe like last week. I got a Shadow Horsey, which, when purified, would be a Hundo. And I did it. I purified it, and now I have a Hundo Horsey. Oh, that's why it was so high. So let's see. Today there was some drama between President Donald Trump as well as Elon Musk. You know, these two were just so close, so good buddies when Trump was reelected. And now, we don't know what happened. Excuse me, I'm just replying. Okay, so yeah. Today, Musk dropped a pretty big bomb announcing to the world that Trump is indeed on the Epstein flight logs. Can we see the flight logs for ourselves to prove that? How long have we been waiting to see the flight logs be truly displayed in all of its shameful glory? I don't know what happened between Trump and Elon Musk. But, dropping that Trump is on the flight logs is a pretty big deal. Hold on. I'm just replying with memes. Damn it, I can't find the meme. It's a meme I've only seen on Instagram. Oh yeah, this morning a Stuart Little moment happened and my mom dropped a ring down the sink drain. So my dad's plumber friend had to come and help with that. And also, update to my Brilliant Diamond replay. I am now at the Elite Four, and I changed my mind once again. Garchomp is on the team, but not Lucario. Because I would need to get the egg from, Sir Aaron, hatch it, and then level it up, evolve it with Friendship. It's like, oh, never mind. I'll just get a Garchomp. So ultimately at the end, Lucario was replaced from my team with a Lumineon. And I gotta say, Lumineon kind of sucks. But now I know. Obviously, I just don't have the right moveset on it. But whatever, my goal was really just to get the 8th gym badge so I can transfer up my actual super high level team and just plow right through the Elite Four and be done with it. Replaying the game, at first, it sucked, like really beginning. Once you got the momentum, once you got used to the game again, it wasn't that bad. Well, tomorrow, my sister's not working, because her husband's not working. Once again, seems kind of shitty in my eyes, but whatever. What can I really do, right? My sister can randomly just be like, oh, he's not working tomorrow, so I'm not working tomorrow. It's like... Yes, I am Angie. In 2 different ways. What's going on with you? Servers are in maintenance. I can play after 11 p.m. Hour and 15 minutes. What else was there to talk about? I already briefly covered the Trump and Elon falling out. Elon was saying he hard carried Trump during the election. He would not have won without him. I don't know. Debatable. Even if that is the case, then probably for the best. Trying to think. If there's nothing else, then we'll talk about the episode. I should probably mention this. I'm not too sure what I should watch next, because I feel like nobody cares if I watch Ted or Monarch or Edge of Sleep. You know, I feel like nobody cares if I watch those or not. Arcane Season 2, I feel like there'd be a little bit more of an interest there. I feel like I should probably just get moving on with the rest of the boys' stuff. Because there is one whole other The Boys piece of content that I completely forgot about. That being the animated show for The Boys. What's it called? The Boys Diabolical? It was The Boys something diabolical. Oops. The Boys presents Diabolical. And the thing is, this show came out before Season 3. So I was technically supposed to watch this before Season 3. I watched it out of order. Fuck! Whatever, it's fine. Because from what I see online, this show is an anthology series. Is it a anthology series or an anthology? Grammar-wise, it should be an anthology, but that kind of just doesn't sound right. It's an anthology. It's an anthology. I don't know. It's a anthology kind of sounds more right than it's an anthology. Whatever. It's an anthology series, so it doesn't take place directly in between seasons 2 and 3. Maybe there's an episode in there that does, and I clearly missed the reference during Season 3. But I will need to check this show out. The Boys presents Diabolical. And then obviously Gen V. So I feel like I should just move on with The Boys. Just keep moving on with The Boys. So up next, I feel like I should watch Gen V as well as catch up on this, The Boys Diabolical. I don't know if it's inherently connected to this show. I imagine it would be, right? I see here that it has all of the main stars voicing their own characters. And, you know, it's The Boys, also released by Amazon Prime. The Boys, an episode of The Boys, an episode of Diabolical is essential viewing for understanding Homelander. And then I see here, it looks like there's different art styles. Okay. Yeah, I'll need to check this out. So I feel like next I should watch this and Gen V. And probably hold off on Ted, Monarch, Edge of Sleep, that stuff for a little bit longer. Because don't forget, we also have Ironheart and Squid Game Season 3 soon. Plus the fact that we still aren't done with Dead City Season 2 yet. So yeah, maybe that'll be next for me to watch. Yesterday in Pokemon TCG Pocket, I got the Guzzlord EX Rainbow card. However, I got that from Wonderpick. I did not pull that from a pack myself. Which still sucks, because to this day, I still have yet to ever pull a rainbow card or a gold card for myself. Like, actually pull one myself. I have 2 rainbow cards, the Glaceon and now the Guzzlord, and I got both from Wonderpick. Hold on, I'm just looking through some stuff online. Okay, let's talk about the From Season 3 finale. This finale. This finale is a real head scratcher. Now, before I talk about the finale, I just want to talk about the fact that the storyline they set up in the season of Boyd wanting to catch one of the monsters and question it, yeah, that was completely abandoned halfway into the season. So there's one storyline they completely forgot about. However, I'm glad that they at least remembered certain storylines, like I said before. The voices Sarah hears, as well as Boyd's Parkinson's. they really did forget about a couple of storylines. This one, in particular, Boyd was set on a mission. He had a mission this season to catch one. And then he just completely forgot about it. Okay, so, episode started off kind of slow. Ellis brings up to, my god, my nose is so stuffed now. Ellis brings up to Boyd, as well as I think Kenny was there. He's suspicious of Elgin. He thinks Elgin knows about Fatima, where Fatima is. So they go to Colony House. They, Boyd also brings along Sarah. Because, you know, Sarah knows what it's like to have this place tell you things and try to make you do things for supposedly the greater good. Boyd asked Donna to clear out Colony House, so now all of them are able to talk to Elgin peacefully, or, you know, alone. Undisturbed. Boyd, Kenny, Ellis, Sarah, Donna, they're all there to talk to Elgin. And Elgin tries to defend himself, tries to be like, this is a good thing. What's going on is a good thing. Once the baby's born, we will all get to go home. And, well, obviously we see at the end what that baby was, so that was a fucking lie. If only Elgin knew. Poor Elgin, you know? But like, alright, the baby's born now. How are you all going home with this? So Elgin keeps on going like, I can't tell you where she is. I can't tell you where Fatima is. You know, he's under the belief, the misguided belief that this thing plays out, they get to go home. And if he tells anyone where Fatima is, they will stop it, they will prevent it, and they can't go home. So he really refuses to tell them. So Boyd asks Donna, where are the tools? Tools are in the shed? Cool. Everyone guard the room. No one goes in or out until I come back. Boyd goes to the shed, assembles a whole bunch of tools. I can already tell. Before he showed up, I can already tell. Father Kotru was about to pop up. And yep, he showed up. Trying to convince Boyd, like, if you do this, then this place wins. This place would have broken you. Like, don't do this, Boyd. But Boyd decides to do it anyways, because his daughter-in-law, his family, is in danger. So he goes in, tries his absolute best to give Elgin one last chance to tell him where Fatima is. The Polaroid camera snaps another picture. Elgin's just like, that's how she communicates to me. Oh, also, that's right. Elgin reveals to everyone that something is speaking to him. He believes it's an angel, like the Bible. He tries to be like, there is a baby, after Boyd is like, no, there's not. Christy had an MRI machine. What? An MRI machine? An ultrasound machine. They checked and there was no baby there. Elgin's just like, no, there is. She explained that to me too. Nobody questioned, nobody asked him like, alright, explain it to us. Really? Nobody asked that. It's like, you explained it to him, great, now explain it to us, the audience. But nobody questioned him about that. Stupid pricks. Lazy writing. Just writing in, oh yeah, he knows. Don't worry about it, he knows. You don't need to worry about it, audience. Lazy ass writing. So yeah, the Polaroid snaps a picture, and hey, for once, we actually get to see immediately what it is. But we don't learn what it is until later on. We learn later on that it's actually a picture of Boyd's house, or the house he was going to move into with his family. But one thing's missing, the boat. Anyway, so he does torture Elgin to try to get him to reveal where Fatima is. But Elgin, first of all, poor Elgin, you know, he's a good kid, trying to do his best, but like, damn, obviously he's manipulated, he's misguided, but damn, poor Elgin. Especially what happened after. So Acosta hears her screaming in pain, so she comes in to question what the hell Boyd is doing. Obviously, Acosta's right to walk in and be like, what are you doing, you lunatic? But she also doesn't understand how dire the situation is. Sarah goes in, tries to talk to Elgin, and she's just like, Boyd doesn't have in him what he needs to do to really get the info out of you. If he does, he will lose his soul to this place. I won't let that. I, however, already lost my soul here. So Sarah tortures Elgin to the point he reveals where Fatima is. And at first I was thinking, so she pulled out the whatever that tool is called, the long rod kind of thing. And I'm just thinking, go for the eye, go straight for the eye. There's a spot right behind the eye that causes immense pain. And I think that's exactly what she did. Because it looks like Elgin lost an eye. Remember, Claire Temple did tell Daredevil, while interrogating that guy, there's a spot behind the eye. How will I know when I find it? He'll let you know. So poor Elgin, he seems to have maybe lost his sight on one eye, but he finally caved and gave Fatima's location. In terms of Fatima, also before that, Ellis is insufferable, overreacts, let his emotions get the better of him. God, this whole season, Ellis and Fatima are both so insufferable to watch. But can't blame them, I get it, they're in a stressful position, both of them. So, over with Fatima. Her belly is much bigger now, she's almost due. And she's frustrated, she wants to get out, but she can't. She picks up the jar of blood, and she throws it against the wall, and I immediately picked up, okay, there's glass. There's glass, she can pick up the glass and do something. She's tempted to cut her belly, but then the lady in the kimono shows up and is like, don't. And at that moment, her water breaks. Fatima gives birth. The kimono lady takes the supposed baby down the space that... Remember how last episode Fatima found something underneath the dirt? Well, that's actually like a passageway. So the kimono lady took the baby and went down there. So by now, people have found Fatima, and Boyd follows along. But I'm not going to say what he found just yet, because the other side of the story. So they deciphered the numbers on the tree. The numbers in the bottle hanging from the tree, they deciphered it. Or at least Jim did. So there are 12 numbers, 2 of the numbers are backwards. So yeah, there's 12 numbers. What 12? What combination of 12 are there? Jade claims he's gone through everything imaginable. But then Jim's like, aren't there 12 notes on a scale? Music scale. So what if the numbers represents a note? So like 1 would be A, 2 would be B, and then, you know, you have sharps and flats. Because some of them are the same. I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't know if this exists or not, I don't remember. For example, like an A sharp is the same thing as a B flat. Wait. No, A flat is the same thing as a B sharp. For example, if those even exist. Or like a G sharp is the equivalent to like an F flat? I forget which notes in music have a sharp and a flat. But regardless, some of them are the same. Some are the same. Some is a sharp for a note, and the same thing as a flat for another note. So there are 12 notes. So they deciphered it. That's it. The numbers are a note. And remember, Victor did have a violin, and Jade is a violinist. He's a musician. I'm losing my voice here. Let me drink some water first. So while Jade was humming out the music notes, the song then goes to his head. Jade knows what the song is like now. But they're hesitant to play it in the middle of town, and you know what? Smart for them, good for them. Jim's just like, are you forgetting about Boyd talking about the deadly music box that almost killed everyone? We don't know if this song is good or bad. So they decide, let's play it away from town, maybe at the tree with the hanging bottle, since that's where the notes were. So they do just that. They go to the tree, Jade plays the song, and all the little kids come out. The kids come out, only Jade and Tabitha are able to see them, but not Jim. While that's happening, you know, the stuff with Fatima's happening, obviously. The little girl walked up to Tabitha. I was really afraid she was going to turn 180 and rip her face off. But no, thankfully the kids are docile. They're peaceful. So, the little girl went up to Tabitha and said that goddamn word, Anghui. And they realized what it means. It means remember. So Jade and Tabitha both remember. And this is my frustration with the show, like really where it comes in. Tabitha runs off crying, like she just can't deal with it. I can't deal with this right now. She runs off. Jim has no idea what happened because he can't see the kids. He asks Jade. Jade's just like, I remember. We used to sing lullabies to them. Just like, what the fuck? Alright, that didn't help. So, Jim ran after Tabitha to try to see what happened. Tabitha finally reveals some lore. Finally. Turns out that they've been here before. This isn't the first time. Tabitha and Jade have been here before. Tabitha used to be Miranda, and Jade used to be Christopher. And one of those children used to be theirs. That's also why the bracelet that Tabitha found, the one that she made for Jim, that's why there's more than one. Because she's been here more than once, she's made it several times. If she was Miranda before, she made it for Victor's father. Now that she's Tabitha, she made it for Jim. And so on. Now, that brings up a whole bunch of questions. Are we talking reincarnation? Which, fine, I can accept that, you know. The spirit of the hero reincarnates into Link all the time. The blood of the goddess reincarnates into Zelda all the time, so it's like, alright. I don't question that. However, what I do question is, even when it comes to Zelda, each new incarnation of Link takes place maybe centuries apart. I don't know if, first of all, reincarnation is what they're discussing, what they're proposing. Because if it is, I don't know if the age gap really works out. Unless you're telling me the moment, the very instant that Miranda died, Tabitha was born. Unless you're telling me Miranda was alive at the same time as a young Tabitha, like the soul reincarnated before she died, like that doesn't really work, right? So was Jade born the moment Christopher died and then Christopher reincarnated immediately? Or, I don't know. You know, it's starting to sound kind of like Oshinoko, only without the memories. The moment they died, they were immediately reborn into someone else's child. You know, someone else's child, but just happened to be tied to this fate. But just without the memories. So I can believe the reincarnation thing, but it's just the age that I'm questioning. We don't know how old, or really any of these characters are. We don't know how old Tabitha is, and if it lines up with her being born after Miranda died, or was Tabitha born? Was Tabitha already born when Miranda was still alive? You know, was Jade already born when Christopher died? Or were these characters, were they born after their previous incarnations died? But whatever, alright? So, I also was picking up vibes of this a couple episodes before. Tabitha seemed to have an ungodly amount of similarities with Miranda. I was wondering, like, they're kind of hinting that she is Miranda, but that doesn't make sense. Unless we do the reincarnation route, which, like, okay, then that makes a lot more sense. I was picking up on those. But, like, how was I supposed to know that they were gonna do this, the reincarnation thing? You know, I wasn't just about to theorize, Tabitha is Miranda, because that made no sense. So, okay, Tabitha used to be Miranda, and Jade used to be Christopher, and even, who knows, before that, they had a child together who turned into one of the kids that they're trying to save now. Okay. So that's why Jade said we used to sing lullabies to them. Because Jade used to be, the spirit that inhabits Jade's body, let's say, used to be a father to one of these cursed kids. Man, must suck for people like Jim and Henry, huh? Knowing that your spouse, your partners, previous incarnations used to sleep with another person, used to be with another person, and now they're with you. It's like, well, I can't help but think that maybe you still have feelings for this other person, you know, that you were with in another lifetime, couple centuries ago, that kind of thing. You know, it's kind of like Hawkman and Hawkgirl. They reincarnate, but are destined to be together. That kind of thing. And then Tabitha also reveals a backstory. The people, they sacrifice their own children for immortality, or extended life, whatever. And at the same time, as she's saying that, we see what Boyd sees. So Fatima's baby, whatever the fuck that thing was, grows and turns back into the same monster that Boyd killed last season. The same monster that we saw in the flashback, the vision that Tabitha saw, the monster that killed Miranda. So that monster's back. So now we know. You kill one of the monsters, you find a way to kill them, they will just be reborn. They will just be born again. Somehow this place will impregnate one of the women to be pregnant with the fucking monsters. The monsters will be born, and then they will be back. Remember a while ago I theorized that, while not exactly the same, these guys, are they possibly the pure Titans in Attack on Titan? Mindless people hunting regular humans in hopes to turn back to humans themselves. Obviously, that was an outlandish theory of mine, but it was still fun to theorize. Well, now it just seems like I was on the right track, just a different idea. Well, you kill a Titan shifter before passing on the Titan powers, it'll just be reborn into another Eldian. So eventually, the Titan power will return. You kill one of the monsters, eventually it'll just be born again. So now we know there's no point in killing the monsters, because they'll just be back. I don't think, I was about to say, unless you want to, kill them all for the couple weeks apiece, and then they'll just respawn. But I don't think that's worth the pain, the hassle that is every single woman in town being pregnant and then giving birth to them again. So the monsters can be reborn, and we see that happen at the same time that Tabitha is telling her backstory, the lore. So she was saying people sacrifice their children for immortality. Are you telling me that these monsters used to be parents of children who sacrificed their children to become this monstrous state, but immortal? Is that the story? Is that the story here? I mean, it would fit with what we learned earlier. The children were betrayed by the people they trusted. They were killed by the people they trusted. Well, their parents. That would be people they trusted. Bunch of kids being betrayed by their parents. Sounds kind of like Marvel's Runaways. So, is that the story? These monsters used to be the parents of these these monsters used to be the parents of these girls, or these kids. They sacrificed their kids, betraying their kids, in order to gain immortality. But that immortality made them become this monster. These monsters. Okay. If that's true, that would explain the monsters, the Anghui kids, but it still doesn't explain why they're trapped here. Unless this whole thing is just, this area just got cursed by it. And yeah, it would also explain why the monsters say don't hunt to eat, why they hunt for the love of the sport, to torture, because they're immortal, they don't need to eat. And also we know their organs inside are shriveled up. So, yeah, I guess that would explain why they hunt for the love of the sport. They're immortal. They can never die. They love torture and pain. Okay, sure, I can see that. Well, Jim walks off to get some space to take in what he just learned. But before we see the end of the episode with what happened to Jim, we have a small little side story Julie and Ethan went to the diner, and Julie discusses the ruins with Ethan, is asking like, or telling Ethan when she was there, it seems like things happened out of order in time. She went back to see herself, Marielle, and Randall screaming. She was able to hear the moment at the end of season 1 where Tabitha and Victor were walking around in the tunnels. So she's kind of thinking like, if she can go back in time, she can change things. Kind of like save Tin Chen, save Thomas, prevent a lot of other things. And I'm just like, okay. Okay, now it's Loki. God of Stories Loki with the time slipping. Because Ethan's also just like, you can't do that. You can only go back to previous chapters, but you can't change the story. Sounds a lot like Loki. God of Stories Loki. So kind of what I'm picking up. If you want this show out of context, just watch Corpse Party and Loki. So the end of the episode, Jim walks to the RV to get some space and process everything. And then we see Julie running frantically to him with a cut on her face, telling her, "Dad, you need to run. It's dangerous." Noticeably, Julie has much shorter hair, implying this is a different Julie. So, rightfully so, Jim's like, "What happened? Okay, you need to calm down. Tell me what happened." And then the man in yellow shows up. Jim tries to protect his daughter. He picks up a giant wooden stick to defend himself with. Clearly that didn't work, because man in yellow holds Jim by the throat, taking the stick away from him. I was afraid he was about to stab. Jim with the stick, but no. The man in yellow says, "Your wife shouldn't have dug that hole." And then he slits Jim's throat. So a lot to unpack there. So Jim is dead. And this is the voice. Could this be the voice that Jim heard that day at the end of season 1, telling him, "Your wife shouldn't be digging that hole, Jim"? I think so. I think the man in yellow is the voice that Jim heard that day. And Jim, his throat is slit. Jim is dying. He's dead. But clearly, this is a different Julie from a different point in time. As if she entered the quantum realm at a certain point in time and then exited the quantum realm at a different point in time. So clearly, we are going to see Julie in the next season go back in time and prevent her father from dying. Okay? There was also one itsy bitsy little moment where Randall almost kills himself with a defibrillator to the face because he wants to get the cicada sounds gone. Cool, anyways. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack from this episode. We see the monsters are reborn, they can respawn. Julie has learned the ability to time travel and time slip to change the story. Loki style, God of Stories Loki style. We learned that Tabitha and Jade are reincarnations of people who have previously been here. Not only have previously been here, but have also had a child together here, or somewhere. Oh yeah, there was also a story, the small storyline where Victor showed his father where he buried his mother as well as his sister. Victor claims he only found pieces of them. Yeah. So there is a lot to unpack from this episode. Certain things are answered, but obviously a whole bunch are not. You know, when Jade learned that the symbol he's been seeing were the roots, the kids poured all their hope into the roots, and those roots turned into the faraway trees. Jade, rightfully so, is just like, you could have just told us. You could have just told me. Yeah, I couldn't help but think, the writers, you could have just told us. I feel like you didn't need to make us sit through 3 seasons to tell us that. Now there is some there is charm and magic behind an overarching mystery, an overarching storyline, building up to the answer. But I don't know, maybe 3 seasons may have been a little long-winded. Alright, well, they know a whole bunch of answers now. Could Season 4 be the conclusion? Could Season 4 be the resolution? I doubt it. Knowing these writers, they'll write something in to give this show probably like a couple more seasons. Well, I just finished talking about From. Not only did they incorporate storylines from Corpse Party, but they're also incorporating storylines from God of Stories Loki. Because next season, it looks like time travel is going to be a big factor. But I'm sure they'll find some way to extend the simplest of time travel stories for 10 seasons. Or 10 seasons. All 10 episodes in the season. Like, for God's sake, man. Julie is going to go all God of Stories Loki. Go back and try to save everyone, try to change things. I mean, what are you going to tell me? What are you going to tell me on screen? A couple of texts are going to say centuries later. After she's learned everything. How to do everything properly. How to save everyone properly. It could be either God of Stories Loki, time slipping, or it could also be like Flash movie trying to prevent, a fixed point. Well, they introduced time travel to the show because of course they did. After time travel, I will be expecting aliens, multiverse, heaven and hell, like for real. I expect a portal to the underworld to open up and literal demons be flying out of there. Oh yeah. So now that the baby is born, the kimono lady brought it down to the underground tunnels where the monsters surround their fellow monster being reborn. Alright, Elgin, how the fuck was that gonna get y'all home, huh? Poor guy. Got manipulated, got used. All for what? For him to have a broken hand and lose an eye? Probably lose the respect of everyone? So now we know that kimono lady is a fraud. She's not trying to help shit. She only wanted her precious monsters to be reborn. So it seems like my theory on the kimono lady being Miranda, well, that's not true. Well, there's your From Season 3. Up next, I will probably catch up on that animated boys show, Diabolical, as well as tune into Gen V Season 1. While I watch both of those, I still have Dead City Season 2 to finish, as well as talking about Ironheart and Squid Game Season 3 when those come out later this month. Fun. Ugh. Man, this worthless piece of shit. This douchebag who told me to watch From way back when. Man, he's been absent this entire season. I watched this show for this guy, and he doesn't even have the gall to discuss the show with me. When he himself told me many moons ago that he has no one to discuss this show with. You worthless piece of shit. Made me watch this show just to not even discuss it with me. You douchebag. And then all the shows that I wanted to discuss with you, you quit. I need to charge this now. Jackass. It's the last time I recommend a show to him and watch a show that he recommends me. Because if I watch One Piece, it won't be thanks to his recommendation, it'll be thanks to someone else's recommendation. Not gonna lie, season 3 may have been the most coherent season yet, but it was also the most messy season yet. Wow, quite an accomplishment, both in one try. Like, they just forgot so many storylines, but then the storyline they were primarily telling was so straightforward, you know? Clean. There wasn't too much to make you question, like, wait a second, but why is this the case? Or why that? You know? Alright, I'm gonna stop talking now. Because I do need to work tomorrow, and I don't want to lose my voice for tomorrow. So I'm gonna stop talking now. Let me let my dog out. I am now taking on the Elite Four in Brilliant Diamond. I forget what type the first guy is. Aaron. I forget what type he is. Ah, bug type. His hairstyle kind of made me think bug type. I know a certain someone here loves a particular bug type named Scolipede. No, I did not get the Switch 2 today. Nah, fuck you. I already discussed from today. Yes, I'm sick. Yes, I am sick once again. Weak-ass immune system of mine, I am sick once again. I'm battling the Elite Four on the side, as well as watching videos. Ooh, Flint is sending out his Lopunny. At least you didn't have to get an x-ray scan of your body to check if your lungs are okay. What's wrong with your lungs? What happened? Why do you need an x-ray scan? Oh, never mind. His Lopunny's male. Couldn't breathe well and your puffers weren't working? Well, did you figure out the problem? You feeling better yet? Oh, haven't gotten the x-ray results yet. When did it start? Fine. Considering this douchebag never shows up anymore. He's here now, so I guess I could go over some of the points I said about From. You jackass. But yeah, hopefully nothing too serious is wrong with you. Hopefully it's just something small. Get better soon. Anyways, the big thing, we learned that... How do I even phrase this now? How do I jump right in without explaining how we got here? I guess I can't. They figured out what the bottles on the trees mean. The numbers in the bottles represents a note. Bro, I told you I got work most of the days, but I think it's probably stress that's leading to health problems. Stress? Fine, I won't question it. Yes, the stress. So yeah, they figured out what the numbers in the bottles mean. They represent a note. Because Jim remembered that there are 12 notes in a scale. You know, notes A to G plus a couple of sharps and flats. And I mentioned earlier that some of those are the same. I forget exactly which one. Something like a D sharp is the same as like an E flat, if those even exist. I forget which notes have sharps and flats. So Jade plays the violin, plays the song that magically just goes into his head. He instantly knows what the song is. The kids show up. They say Ang Hui to Tabitha's face, and they remember what Ang Hui means. Ang Hui means remember. So, Tabitha remembers. She used to be Miranda, and Jade used to be Christopher. They've been here before. Now, that brings up a whole bunch of questions, but it does answer a couple other questions. Now, if they really are going the reincarnation route, I can see that. You know? The example I said earlier, Spirit of the Hero reincarnates into Link all the time. Blood of the Goddess reincarnates into Zelda all the time, so it's not a big deal. But, just like what I said earlier with that example, each new Link incarnation takes place centuries apart. Like, there's no two Links walking around at the same time. Not counting the hero Shade, because he's technically dead. So, if Tabitha really is Miranda reincarnated, and same thing if Jade really is Christopher reincarnated, now, my question is, did they reincarnate after their previous incarnation died? Because we don't know the age of these characters. You know? Was Tabitha born after Miranda died, or was Tabitha already born before Miranda died? Like, that's not answered, you know? I don't know if it's kind of like an Oshinoko moment, only without the memories. The moment they died, their consciousness went into someone else's baby. They were instantly reborn, just this time without their memories. So I don't know if they really are reincarnated or not. But it seems like that's what they're pushing. At the moment, because Seasons 4 not out yet, I can only assume right after Miranda died, she was reborn into Tabitha. Right after Christopher died, he was reborn into Jade. I can only also assume, because we learned what Fatima was pregnant with, it was the monsters being reborn. We also learn some backstory, some lore at long last. So, corpse party style, the kids were killed and betrayed by the people they trusted. Tabitha's just like, the people, they killed their children for immortality. You can piece the puzzle pieces together. So it's like, were these monsters once potentially the parents of the kids? Sacrificed their kids to become immortal, but becoming immortal meant becoming these monsters. And it would also explain why, or not why, but it would also explain the reason why the monsters don't kill for food. They kill for the love of the sport. Well, they don't need to eat. They live forever, because even if they die, they can just be reborn. So, yeah, they kill for the love of the sport. Julie realized that going into the ruins, she can possibly go back in time and change things. God of Stories Loki style. Yeah, that ending was crazy though, So, Man in Yellow more than likely revealed to be the voice that told Jim your wife should not be digging that hole. Kills Jim, slits his throat. And let's face it, we know Julie's gonna go back in time to try to stop that. Cool? Alright, I think these guys left. So I will go back to watching my video. I'm watching presidents play Pokemon Infinite Fusion. But anyways, like... Alright. We got a reincarnation storyline going on. We have time travel now. So, Season 4, I would expect Julie to time travel back and try to change things, try to save some characters. And with this show just going crazier and crazier, I would expect Season 5 to introduce the multiverse. Season 3 was not terrible. You know what else wasn't terrible? Arrow, Season 4. Man, aren't you glad I actually watched through the show and gave it a chance? You know, I could have easily just quit the show after hearing one season was bad. But I decided not to. I decided to watch the show myself and give it a shot. Because what kind of dumbass out there would quit an entire show just because they heard one season out of several wasn't as good as the rest? Well, I do like the idea that Sarah stepped up, realizing that Boyd wasn't gonna go as far as he needed to torture Elgin to the point where he would reveal Fatima's location. So I like that Sarah stepped up. Man, if I was her and I didn't go for the eye, I would go for the arm. There's like a nerve in the arm that is extremely painful if struck. So if I was her, if I didn't go for the eye, I would go for the arm, the forearm. At least I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure there's a nerve in there that is extremely painful once struck. You know, speaking of arms, something bizarre I do sometimes, which honestly should not be bizarre whatsoever. Sometimes at work, when I need to deliver a job and I need to wait for it, sometimes waiting for it could take like 10, 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes more, maybe even. A couple days ago when I had to do that, I think it was yesterday actually. Yesterday when I had to do that, I had to just sit there in the parking lot for like more than half an hour, maybe 40 minutes just waiting. And yesterday was hot, like really hot. Yesterday was like the hottest day we've had so far for the summer. So obviously I wasn't about to just lock myself in the car and just cook myself in the oven that is a car in the summer heat, or B, waste the car gas or battery or whatever it is just sitting there with the AC on. So instead what I did was I just stood out there, rolled up my sleeves, and got some sunlight. Now, I don't think it's much of a surprise for me to say that I don't get much sunlight. I'm pretty pale. I don't go outside very often. The most going outside I do, aside from letting my dogs outside, would be walking from my front door to my car, and then walking from the car to the store. That's all the sunlight I get. So I don't get much sunlight. I'm pretty pale. So whenever an opportunity like this comes up, where I have to sit there and wait for 20 to 40 minutes maybe, I'll just stand outside and I'll just absorb some vitamin D, get some sunlight. Now, I realize it would be weird for any cars passing by seeing a guy with his sleeves rolled up just T-posing in the middle of a parking lot. But hey, what's wrong with a guy trying to get some sunlight while he has nothing to do and he needs to wait there, right? What's wrong with a guy just getting some sunlight while he needs to stand there and wait? I particularly try to get some sunlight on my forearms, my bottom forearms, because those are particularly pale. But yeah, every now and then, if I need to wait outside in the parking lot and it's like a sunny day, I'll just stand outside, T-pose, get some sunlight on my arms. You know, given how pale I am, I would love to get like a full body tan. But I'm afraid my neighbors will stare at me if I just lie in my backyard with nothing but, you know, trunks on. And I'm not exactly going to the beach anytime soon. So any chances of me getting a full body tan aren't happening anytime soon. By the way, I'm battling Champion Cynthia right now. I transferred over my powerful team, my team in the level 90s to level 100, and I am absolutely bodying her team right now. I am bodying Cynthia right now, and not in the way I would like to. So, my theory on Miranda being the kimono lady was wrong. It almost seems like she might be, I don't know, the mother to the monsters? I don't know. But then where does the man in yellow play in? I need to pee real quick. Oh, clearly that wasn't me who turned on the light. Ugh. Wait, how long has this been tilted for? Shiny Dialga isn't real. It can't hurt you. I'm totally not hurt right now with how long this is taking. I hope you guys know just how many more we have to hunt after this. Well, at least it isn't the longest so far. We're getting pretty close. Mewtwo took 12. We're at 10. We're getting pretty close. Well, my Brilliant Diamond replay is done. Now I need to replay Legends Arceus, and then I have regular Diamond to play. Oh my god, I see here Ben Shapiro reacts. Trump versus Elon. What the hell is going on? I may check that out after this. Oh, this will be the last one. No, let's do one more. Come on, please. And no. See you next time.